Hello, welcome to Soulprint Intuitive Tarot. I'm delighted you have found me on your YouTube feed. That's very exciting. I'm going to, this tarot card reading is going to be for water signs for the month of May. So, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer, water signs. Going to just take a look at the energies and influences that you're going to be dealing with in the month of May. And after I do sort of a general overall, then I will be pulling cards for each of the three water signs, just drill down a little bit and get some more specific or focused information for you and what's going on energetically in your world. So, give this a shuffle and take a look at water signs for the month of May. Okay, here we go. This like this. So, universe and spirit, what is going to be the influences that Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpios are dealing with in the month of May? Well, my goodness gracious, looks like this sign is going to have a pretty spectacular month of May. Things are definitely going your way. There is joy, there is happiness, there is success, abundance, love, pretty much whatever it is you're looking for. There is an opportunity for it to come through to you in the month of May, or certainly the beginning steps of it. One of the most auspicious cards in the tarot. That's an amazing and lovely way to start off as your signifier card. Okay, and then we have the King of Swords, and the King of Wands, and the Queen of Wands. So very interesting. Looks to me like this is talking really about a month where there's going to be a lot of social activity, a lot of interactions, perhaps, you know, springtime barbecues, family visits, might be weddings, you know, graduations, all kind, you know, all beginning, rebirth, kind of new beginning events going on. And I definitely see an interaction with perhaps even more people that you're used to or comfortable dealing with. Pisces, Cancers, and Scorpio, well, there's a part of them that can be quite outgoing and vivacious and really enjoy people. There is also another aspect of these signs that it really does like sort of quiet and a little bit reclusive, and kind of a little bit more selective about how many and when people come into their inner circle. So this is looking to me a little bit like definitely dealing with a little bit more activity, visits and interactions with a broad range of people. And it's interesting because you're talking here about fire signs and a air sign. So that's also, you know, interesting because there's not a lot of commonality between the signs. I'm certainly not suggesting they can't get together and they can't be friends, but it's, you know, not quite as comfortable for a water sign to be with fire or air. They tend to be a little bit more comfortable with earth signs. It just feels a little bit safer and more nurturing. But I'm just going to ask for a couple of clarifiers here, just get a little bit of information on what all of this activity and socializing is about. Okay. So this is what some of you may very well be affected by feeling that you're coming to kind of the end or the conclusion of something that has been taking up a fair bit of your time and energy, and that you are now kind of harvesting the results. You are now in a place where you are able to take stock, make some plans going forward, but the plans that you're making going forward are just going to be different than the plans that you have just completed. So, you know, obvious things that kind of come to mind could be socializing around graduations, around the beginnings of families, so weddings, birth of a child, visits, visits from people from a distance coming to visit you, and that's so clearly the month of May is offering water signs an opportunity to do more socializing than they're used to, and just appears to be sort of almost wrapping up older business and setting that aside and making a way for new and brilliant adventures, opportunities, and people to come into your life and to mix it up a little bit, change it up, bring you some new energy that's going to shift things around a little bit for you as you are very calmly wrapping up or getting rid of that which has had its time and it's time to move on. Definitely feels a little bit like some of that is going on for water signs this May. So I'm going to take a quick look at Pisces and then Cancer and Scorpio, so just 4 cards, and we'll see what the universe specifically would like to share with Pisces for the month of May. All right. I'm going to do a single cut here. Okay. Pisces. Okay, very interesting. So you're starting off with the Tower card. And this almost in some ways feels like a continuation of what I was just talking about in the general, because very often a tower clearly represents something coming to an end, completion, gaining new insights about something and realizing it's time to wrap it up, let it go, move forward, move on. So very interesting. The tower definitely indicates that some significant things are going to be changing, and very often the tower represents coming to terms with ideas or concepts that were not necessarily built on the firmest of grounds. So this may be a time to, check to see if the things that you believe to be true are actually your truth now. Very interesting. But the card, and certainly the cards that follow, clearly indicate that this tower moment or situation is very, very beneficial. It is not, it may very well be unexpected, it may be even shocking, but it is not going to be a disaster. In fact, it is very clearly making way for new energy and new events. So what we have at the Nine of Pentacles, you're talking about, success, abundance, comfort. This is talking about being comfortable in the month of May. So it's very possible that there might be some gifts coming to you, some extra surprises, particularly in terms of finances and possessions. So you might be receiving a gift or two. You might be, getting a check in the mail. But definitely this is indicating a time of sort of comfort and, just contentment. With this card, we're talking about things from the past sort of coming back in. So again, this kind of is circling around this whole idea of something being over and something new starting. So certainly when we're making transitions like that, we very often are going to reach back into those memories and the past, take a look at them, evaluate them, and that very action can create an energy where you then have people from the past popping back in, because it's almost like energetically you're connecting with them. And again, this feels a little bit more like kind of looking back with a smile and saying goodbye, thank you for the memories, I'm moving on, as it doesn't quite feel so much like getting stuck in the past or wishing for the past. It feels very much like it's almost like a bittersweet goodbye to the past as you have made the decision to move forward. And moving forward, you definitely are going to be Pisces, because you have the Wheel of Fortune card. So literally, you're talking about your destiny. You're talking about a change. You're talking about some really good luck coming to you. So sounds like there might be a bit of shake-up in May, but ultimately you are going to end up in a place where you are prepared to put the past behind you. You are welcoming and really super excited about new things coming forward. And for some of you, you're literally going to be feeling as if you have taken a step closer to your destiny. And for some of you, it's not even going to feel like a step as much as it may very well feel like a running leap towards the future that you feel is the one that you should have. So, wow, Pisces, that is like really exciting. I hope good things come to you and are there for you in the month of May. Let's move on to Cancer. And let's see what the universe has in store for you in terms of energy and influences. See if we can get a little bit of additional information on what Cancers are going to be dealing with as the month of May rolls around and unfolds. So let's do one cut. And this is for Cancers for the month of May. Oh, lovely. So the Two of Cups is very often representative of almost like finding a soulmate, finding somebody that you really connect with. And this can be, very often it's viewed as a romance card or a love card, but it can definitely be a friendship, a business relationship, people meeting because of hobbies or chance meetings. But there's definitely a feeling of somebody coming into your life, providing you with a sense of belonging and even perhaps a sense of clarity or direction in terms of how you want to be and move forward. I have to say, Cancer, you also have a really lovely spread of cards here. You've got the Knight of Pentacles, so that's talking about a little bit of movement or action being taken in terms of that which is physical. So it could be money, it could be property, you could be trying to sell or buy, something more major, a car, some sort of holiday equipment, perhaps, bigger purchases, but there's definitely going to be some action and some movement there. So that's always nice as spring is coming forward and you're wanting to be a bit more active and you have this person that you're wanting to do and share and be with. So that some movement on money is going to be a good thing. You have the Justice card here. And so this is very much a karma card. It is, cause and effect. If this, then that. It is about fairness. It can sometimes represent legal issues that are being wrapped up or that are certainly going to turn in your favor. So very interesting because you have the Two of Cups is a card about almost like a destined connection between two people. And then you have a card that very often represents karma. So definitely Cancer, there is certainly a feeling of that which is meant to be coming forward, that which you have waited for, that which feels karmic, that which feels it is from before, is definitely going to be playing a significant role, it would appear to me, in your life and the energies you're dealing with in the month of May. And the month of May also is being represented by the Three of Cups, which is a lovely, lovely card when it comes to things like celebrations. Sometimes it can very much be like about women power, girlfriends getting together, sisters getting together, a really close feminine connection. But it represents celebrations. It's dancing in the street. It's raising a glass in good cheer. It is party time. It's fun time. And there are things to be celebrated. And Cancers, you are all in for celebrating them. So for Cancers, fabulous month ahead. Definitely looking like, you've got some really good, positive, happy energy there. You've got things that have come to conclusions and successful conclusions and happy conclusions. And, you definitely have some interesting new people perhaps coming into your life, or karmic situations coming in all in the best possible ways. So it really is something that is going to be viewed by you as a blessing or a gift. And wow, that's lovely. Okay, so we're moving on now to Scorpio. Let's take a look at the energies that Scorpio is going to be dealing with this month, some of the influences. And so we're looking for Scorpio in the month of May. We just want a little bit of additional information on Scorpio for the month of May. Okay, so we've got the Page of Wands. So we're talking about ideas, creativity, new projects, and the page definitely indicates messages or information, insights, perhaps even guidance coming to you on a newer adventure or a new project. And that looks like it's going to be taking up a significant amount of your creative and self-expressive energy this month. And definitely, there's going to be forward movement on it, and when information coming forward that helps you and the project itself move forward. Okay, we have the Four of Pentacles here, we have the Chariot, and we have the Ten of Swords. So Scorpios are going to be needing to take a look at their finances and work hard this month to find the balance. Scorpios tend to be quite good when it comes to managing their money and, putting money aside for a rainy day. They tend to have a fairly good and kind of logical, pragmatic sense when it comes to money. But in this instance, you're being asked to be careful that you're not becoming too tight. That you haven't hit a place where you're kind of almost like feeling scared to enjoy what you have. Definitely, there's going to be some budgeting going on. There's going to be prioritizing, but part of what you're being asked to do is just perhaps look and see if you are one of the Scorpios who needs to just loosen the purse strings a little bit so there isn't such a feeling of restriction. When you are not fighting a feeling of restriction, it is much easier for abundance to make its way to you. If you're feeling restricted, you're going to be restricted in receiving abundance. When you're feeling a bit more open and as if that energy is flowing more freely and you are welcoming of it, then that's when abundance has an easier time reaching you. So definitely some budgeting going on, some looking at your finances, looking at where you're putting your money, when and why, but also a sense of make sure that you're not becoming so focused on the accumulation of it that you are not spending any time actually enjoying it, or even worse, that you have sort of taken an attitude which is actually going to push abundance away from you. You have the Chariot here, so you're talking about drive and determination. You're talking about forward movement. Sometimes it can indicate, some mediation or negotiations of some kind, but this very much feels like a forward movement card to me. And you have the Ten of Swords here. So the Ten of Swords is talking about feeling a little bit done, just tired. Perhaps you have come to the end of a particularly stressful time or intense time, and you're just feeling really kind of done. You just want to lay down and have a little bit of a rest. You don't want people yakking at you and nattering at you. There's just a sense of, I just need to be alone with my thoughts for a little bit and just shake off sort of the burdens and the heaviness that I have been carrying for a while, and let me, just recover a little bit and move forward. I'm going to ask for a clarification card on the Ten of Swords, because sometimes that can be a bit of a hard card. It sort of feels like you can feel sort of like you're getting attacked from all sides, or it can just sometimes be a kind of a harsh card. So I just want a little bit of a clarifier, please, on the Ten of Wands for Scorpio for the month of May. And we now have the Eight of Wands. So what this is talking about is situations where you feel perhaps as though it is something that you are doing because it is expected or you feel obligated, as opposed to something you are doing of your own free will. But recognize that very often, all you have to do is say no, and that simple word takes you out of the prison of obligation and moves you into the arena of free choice. So oftentimes it is going to simply be about your thought processes and the way you feel about what you're doing and where you're putting your energy. And if you're starting to feel like you're putting your energy in places that feel much more like an obligation than a joy, take a look at that and check to see if you really want to keep this energy in your life, and check to see if it is reality or your thoughts that are shaping something that perhaps may not necessarily be as negative as you feel or believe it is. But definitely with those two sword cards, you're dealing with communication, whether it's self-communication or outside communication, perhaps hearing things that you maybe don't want to hear but you need to hear, and definitely feeling like you have reached the end of one road and are moving forward into a new arena and new ventures. So, wow, water signs. It looks like May is going to be a really, really interesting month for you. You've got, definitely that sense of just letting go of that whose time is done, and embracing and welcoming that which now has a new beginning and a new time. So, thank you so much for finding me at Soulprint Intuitive Tarot. I'm so glad you're here. And if you have enjoyed this, please, like, share, subscribe. And I also do and am available for private readings. The information's in that box below. And so you can reach me at soulprint888 at gmail.com. So have a fabulous, fabulous May, water signs. Enjoy the sun, enjoy spring, and move with confidence into the new future that you are creating. Have a great time in May. Bye-bye, water signs.